What's up YouTube, Omar here, and I'm coming at you with a Tuesday afternoon video. Just chilling watching the US Open with my friend today, but I figured I'd come at you with this video. This is the college football wrap-up for week 1. Again, if you do not know, college wrap-up is what got my channel going in the first place, what got, views. I don't know what's going on with my hair today, but I really don't care. So let's just start it off. We have a formula. Here's the sheet right here, but we're not going to look at that yet. We're going to start off with the top 25 ranking games. So on Thursday, number 6 South Carolina beat North Carolina 27-10. Number 24 USC beat Hawaii 30-13. Number 19 Boise State upset by Washington 38-6. Number 1 Alabama rolled 35-10. Number 2 Ohio State 40-20 over Buffalo. Number 3 Oregon 66-3 over Nicholls State. Number 5 Georgia upset by number 8 Clemson 38-35 in one of the best games of the week, in my opinion. Number 7 Texas A&M over Rice 52-31. Number 10 Florida beat Toledo 24-6. Number 12 LSU beat number 20 TCU 37-27. Number 13 Oklahoma State defeated unranked Mississippi State 21-3. Notre Dame beat Temple, Notre Dame number 14, 28-6. Number 15 Texas defeated New Mexico State 56-7. Number 16 Oklahoma pitched a shutout over Louisiana Monroe 34-0. Number 17 Michigan beat Central Michigan 59-9. Number 18 Nebraska hung on for a 37-34 win over Wyoming. Number 21 UCLA defeated Nevada 58-20. Number 22 Northwestern beat Cal 44-30. Number 23 Wisconsin defeated UMass 45-0. Eastern Washington, the FCS school, upset number 25 Oregon State 49-46. We'll get into more of that later. And on Sunday, number 9 Louisville beat Ohio 49-7, and number 11 Florida State beat Pittsburgh 41-13. So ranked teams did pretty well this week. There's only a couple of ranked teams that lost a game in which they weren't playing against another ranked team. 4 ranked teams lost this week, and only 2 of them lost in games where it wasn't a head-to-head matchup with 2 ranked teams. The 4 ranked teams to lose this week were number 19 Boise State, number 5 Georgia, number 20 TCU, and number 25 Oregon State. And Oregon State and Boise State were the only 2 teams to lose to unranked teams. Oregon State losing to Eastern Washington, and Boise State, of course, losing to UW Washington. So, let me just get to the 5 biggest lessons for this week. Number 1, FCS football. There are some teams, not all of them that won this week, because I think 7 FCS teams won games against FBS teams in games that they were being paid to play. Not all of them deserve to be in the FBS, but a couple do. And let me start with 2. Eastern Washington. Now, Oregon State is supposed to have a top 4, top 3 defense in the Pac-12. Eastern Washington scored 49 points on them. 49 points. Eastern Washington is too good for the FCS. Also, North Dakota State handled Kansas State. Did a last-second drive that was beautiful for the win. As I said, 7 FCS teams defeated an FBS team this week. That's insane. Good job to them. Wasn't us, so I'm not worried. Number 2 lesson, Bama will be Bama. Not much has changed. I mean, A.J. McCarron was not so good, and, the offense could have done a whole lot better, and they still win 35-10. That's just how Bama rolls. Great defense against Virginia Tech. We knew that was coming, though. Bama's always had a trademark defense. Number 3, Clemson is for real. I didn't realize it, but Clemson is a championship contender this season with the weapons. On offense, Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins, that combo is going to go for yard after yard this season. Their defense stepped up when they had to. They turned the ball over from Aaron Murray, and they slowed down a very good Georgia offense. Number 3, the Pac-12 has more competitors than you might think it does. Coming into the year, it would look like kind of a two-team race in the Pac-12 North with Oregon and Stanford, and a two-team race in the Pac-12 South with USC and Arizona State. But one thing we've learned this week is that USC is okay. Arizona State had a bye. Arizona could compete in that division. UCLA could compete in the South Division. There's 4 teams that can win the Pac-12 South. Arizona, Arizona State, UCLA, and USC are the 4 teams that I think any of them can win it, depending on what happens. And then you go to the Pac-12 North. Oregon State didn't prove themselves, but my team, Washington, proved that they could compete for the Pac-12 North and maybe have a chance at it. So really what you have is 7 teams competing for the Pac-12 right now, which is a great competition. I think that's going to be fun to watch this year. Watch out for the Pac-12. And number 5, the new ejections rule plays a big role. I saw personally watching games, I think 3 or 4 players get ejected this weekend due to the new targeting rule. If you are targeting a player with your head or shoulders up around their head or shoulders, you are going to get ejected. They can review it, but most likely you are ejected. I actually am in favor of the rule. I think that it's only fair. It's the only way that you can maybe try to take these sort of hits out of the game slowly so that people don't keep getting injuries that we've seen over the years, the concussions and all those kind of injuries. We don't want to see those in our game. We want the game to be, physical and tough, but we want it to be safe. We don't want a college kid to, have his life altered because of an injury that he suffers on the football field. So now my top 10 teams. Now, there was some shifting up top with Oregon and Ohio State in the AP poll, and I did the exact same thing. Checking in at number 10, I got Florida State. Moving up from number 11, their freshman quarterback, Jameis Winston, looked great. We'll get to him later. And they just, they were going to roll over Pitt anyway, but they looked good. Number 9, Louisville. I have them staying put after a good win over an Ohio team. Teddy Bridgewater is legit. And he had a great game, and Louisville is going to run the table. I have no doubt. Their only chance to lose is Cincinnati, in my opinion. Number 8, we have LSU moving up 4 spots from number 12 in my rankings after that win against TCU. As a lot of people have been saying, and I agree, they came out with passion, playing with purpose, trying to show everyone out there that just because they lost a lot of players to the draft, they do not deserve to be ranked number 12 and play with a chip on their shoulder and just played well. Number 7, you got Texas A&M staying put from number 7 last week. Manziel, stop with the antics and just play the game of football. I understand you're back in the field for the first time in a while and all the talk and everything in the offseason. Just play football and leave the antics alone for 2 seconds. That being said, they were okay against Rice, but good in the second half when they got Johnny back in there. So I have to leave them put. Same with South Carolina at number 6. Stay put. They played okay. They played pretty well as a team, but as I said, Clowney not so good. But we'll see South Carolina how they really do when they play Georgia in a big game this weekend. Number 5, Stanford, moving down from number 4. I know they had a bye, but I'm sorry. You have to move down because number 4 is Clemson. They proved themselves. They showed that they're going to be a championship contender, and they move into the top 4, which is striking distance for sure, especially when you're in the ACC. Number 3, I have Ohio State falling from number 2. They were okay against Buffalo, but sometimes I just was not impressed with the conditioning, with all the cramps and all that kind of stuff. Buffalo's a team that should be beat by a much larger margin. I know that Khalil Mack and Buffalo is a really undervalued team, but still. Number 2 is Oregon. They blew out Nicholls State. What can you say? 66 points. Mark Helfrich looks just the same as Chip Kelly, and we'll see come big games. And number 1 is Bama. Nothing really to say about that. They're solid as a rock. Now, my top 5 Heisman candidates after week 1, and we start at number 5 with true freshman quarterback Jameis Winston out of Florida State. He had a great game yesterday, albeit against Pitt. 25 of 27, 356 yards, 4 touchdowns. Also on the ground, 8 carries for 25 yards and a touchdown. 5 total touchdowns, did not turn the ball over, racked up 381 yards. That's a great day for a true freshman quarterback. I believe he's true freshman. Number 4, the quarterback from Oregon, Marcus Mariota, another dual threat dandy of a day. 12 of 21 for 234 yards and a touchdown through the air. 5 carries, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. So give that man 3 touchdowns on the day. Again, didn't turn the ball over and had 347 total yards. Number 3, I was thinking about Johnny Manziel, but not this week. Not enough stats. I'm putting Braxton Miller in there. He played actually okay against Buffalo. Let me see here, 15 of 22 for 178 and 2 touchdowns and a pick on the ground, 17 carries for 77 yards. He's going to need to step it up if Ohio State's going to run the table and make the championship game, but that's a good start for Braxton Miller. Number 2, Teddy Bridgewater, the man with the gloves. 23 of 28, 355, 5 touchdowns and a pick against Ohio this week. 5 touchdowns really jumps out at you. Bridgewater is a solid quarterback, and he's not a scrambler like many think. He has a pocket presence, and I think he's going to lead Louisville to an undefeated season. And number 1 got to be the MVP of the big game this Saturday, Tajh Boyd. 18 of 30, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. On the ground, 13 carries, 42 yards, and 2 more touchdowns. He had 5 touchdowns, did not turn the ball over, and really led Clemson to their win against Georgia. Last note, kind of new thing I'm adding in, my thought for what was the game of the week, the best game, and I'm going to give the nod to Ole Miss at Vanderbilt. That was a good old SEC shootout with some high drama at the end. If you didn't see that game, I'd recommend you go back and watch the highlights, a great one. So a 12-minute video on week 1 of the college football season, the wrap-up. I will see you guys soon for a Cowboys Hate Week video coming up probably today, maybe tomorrow. And I know NFL previews coming out tomorrow. NFC East preview will be there at some point. It's busy, man. Anyway, I'll get back to you guys soon.